Erev Tov, Shalom, Baruch Haba, good evening. We welcome you to our beginner's Hebrew class. Bienvenidos, buenas noches, bienvenidos a esta clase de hebreo. We're studying the letters of the AlephBet. Estudiamos las letras de AlephBet. Y we're at the letter of Dalet. Right here, which is the fourth letter. So let's do all of the letters together here, everyone together. And we're going to go to Vav. As you see, we have Vav here. So this is the letter Vav right here. And Vav's number is 6. Okay? And Vav's number is 6. So let's say it together. Vamos a decir algunos. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet-Hei, Vav. Again. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet-Hei, Vav. Otra vez. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet-Hei, Vav. Números, the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, very good. Okay, so we're going to discuss, discutir the Dalet tonight. And if you remember, the Dalet is the letter D. Is the letter D. And one of the so that's the Dalet. So one of the things that we discussed the last time, and we will cover because we were gone a week, and then some were out and such as that. So we will recover here. Most of it recoger aquí porque mucho tiempo fuera de clase. So you notice that the AlephBet is not exactly the same as the English or the Spanish alphabet. No es exactamente lo mismo como alphabet de inglés o español. You have the A and the B, but not the C. A, B, pero lo C es G, Gimel, D, Dalet, He. In English or in Spanish, the He would be over here. You'd have the G over here. So it's not the same. The reason why it's not the same is because these letters, in Hebrew, the letters are next to each other because there's a relationship. Hay una relación entre las letras en hebreo. Y porque de esta razón, las letras son próximo uno a otro. ¿Entienden? Okay, so Bet is next to Aleph because there's a relationship between Aleph and Bet. Hay una relación entre Aleph y Bet. Por esta razón, Bet es ¿cómo se dice?
Enseguida.
To Aleph. También Gimel tiene una relación con Bet, Dalet tiene relación a Gimel, He a Dalet, Vav. ¿Y por qué esta es la razón? Que son próximos a uno a otro, una a otra. However you would do it. Okay, so with Dalet is the D sound. Everyone say D, De? Dalet? Okay, so this is the Dalet. This is what the Dalet looks like. The Dalet means door, una puerta. Y tenemos una puerta, this is the curtain of a tent. I don't know how to say that. So you have see. So you have a tent, and This would be the door to the tent. So it's the door. Dalet also representa un hombre pobre. It's the poor man. Remember that we had the letter Gimel. Gimel is the rich man. Gimel es el hombre rico. Y esta es la relación entre Gimel y Dalet. Él es pobre, él es rico. Remember that the rich man, that the Gimel is facing to the Dalet. Gimel en contra Dalet. That this is his arm, his hand, es el brazo. These are his legs, his feet, pies. Es corriendo al hombre pobre. He's running to the poor man with his hand outstretched para dar sus riquezas al hombre pobre. To give his wealth to the poor man. Okay? So this is the responsibility. We spent 2 weeks on that, 3 weeks on that, but this is the responsibility of the Gimel, of the rich man, to take care of the poor man. This is very important, and this is why we keep hitting on it. We say it over and over again. Es muy importante entender that we are to run to those who are in need. Necesitamos correr a ellos que tienen necesidad. That if a person is in need, we're to run to them. We're to run to help them. We're to be in a hurry. This is why we're here. Este es porque estamos aquí. Vivimos en este mundo a ayudar los pobres. We're here to help the poor. This is my purpose in life. This is your purpose in life. This is why God put us here. Esta es la razón que Dios pone nosotros aquí. Ayudar a los pobres. En espíritu y físicamente. In the spirit, in faith, but also physically. And the truth is, you cannot help someone spiritually if you don't help them first physically. No podemos ayudar en fe, a ayudar a edificar la fe de una persona pobre, sino que ayudar en las cosas físicas. That we have to help them in their physical. Why? Because if I'm sitting here and I'm hungry, si yo tengo hambre, you want to help me with my faith, quieres ayudarme con mi fe, but I'm sitting here hungry, tengo hambre. Am I going to be listening to you? No. I'm not going to hear you. Why? All I hear is my stomach. So what? If I want you to listen to my heart, I first have to demonstrate. I have to get your attention. How do I get your attention? By getting you to stop listening to your stomach, so that you can hear my words. How do I do that? I put food in your belly. Alimento en su estómago. Y pues, puedes oír mi voz en las cosas de fe. Okay? If I'm worried about paying my electric bill, if I'm worried about feeding my kids, if I'm worried about clothing my kids, paying the rent, these kinds of things, you're not going to listen. I'm not going to listen to you as long as I have these other worries in my life. And so for this reason, we're told to run to help the poor, a correr, a ayudar los pobres del mundo. And this is the Gimel. He's running. This is Abraham. This is Abraham Avinu, nuestro padre. Our father, Abraham. Abraham. Avinu, our father. Vuestro padre. This is Abraham. What do you mean this is Abraham? Abraham was known for his chassidut, for his chesed, his kindness. He was known for chassidut. Chassidut this is where we get the word chassid, Hasidic Jew, a chassid, the ultra-Orthodox Jews. Okay? He was known for his chassidut. What do we mean? His chassidut. What was his chassidut? That he ran to help people. Do you remember the most famous story that we have, Abraham, when he's having this conversation with Hashem, he's having this conversation with God, hablando con Dios, and God is revealing himself. Dios está revelado su mismo a Abraham. And what happens? Abraham looks up and he sees three strangers. And what does he do? ¿Qué hizo Abraham? He runs to them. With what? Leche, carne, comida, agua. Ayudarlos. He runs to them with water and milk and meat to help them, to feed them. He invites them in. What he doesn't know at the time, but he finds out later, what he doesn't know at the time is that these three strangers are actually what? Estos dos extranjeros actualmente son malachim, angels, ángel. ¿Cómo se dice? Ángel.
Ángeles.
So, difícil para pensar en inglés, en español y hebreo. Pero, so there are three angels. Which is why the book of Hebrews tells us to be careful, to be certain to take care of strangers in our midst. Why? Because we may be taking care of angels without knowing. Okay? So this is Abraham, and he's practicing chassidut. Chassidut, I was listening to a rabbi talking about chassidut today, and he was talking about this very story of Abraham. And he's talking about chassidut. This is in the Great Kadashah, the New Testament, where it says godliness. In Hebrew, there's no term for godliness in Hebrew. No hay, how do you say godliness en español?
Godliness in Spanish?
Yes. Like he says, in all manner of godliness. Es en santidad, posiblemente. But in godliness, that there's no hay palabra godliness en hebreo. La manera de the word, la palabra por esta palabra es chassidut. ¿Qué es chassidut? Chesed. ¿Qué es chesed? ¿Qué es chesed? Kindness. ¿Cómo se dice kindness? How do you say kindness? To be kind.
Ser bueno.
¿Ser bueno?
Bueno.
To be kind to somebody else, to show kindness to somebody else. This is chassidut. To be kind. Now, the situation is this. We're talking about a rich man and a poor man. We usually don't think of the rich man as being a kind person. How do we think of rich people? Snobby, arrogant, whatever, mean, stingy, right? All of these kinds of things. But in Judaism, no. Every person is to be kind to every other person. And in Judaism, it's not just the financially, physically wealthy. No están los ricos financiar, de dinero, ¿qué? Riquezas, de banco, ¿qué? Cada persona es rico. ¿Por qué? Why? How is it that every person is rich? En mi fe, en mi confianza en Dios, in my confidence, my trust of God. Because nothing belongs to me anyway. Nada pertenezca a mí. Todo es de Dios. Everything todo es la posesión de Dios. Everything is the possession of God. I own nothing. And this is in fact Dalet. This is the poor man. Dalet es la persona que entender que él tiene nada. No tiene posesiones. He does not have possessions. What does this mean? People get upset with me when I say this. Gente tiene, ¿cómo se dice? Enojada conmigo. Diciendo esto, ¿por qué? Porque dice, pues, well, I can't have a house, no puedo tener una casa. I didn't say that. Understand that the house you're living in is not yours. La casa no es suya. Pertenezca a Dios.
Yes.
Es la propiedad de Dios. It's the property of God. It's not mine. The car that I'm driving. Am I saying that you have to drive around in a what? I don't know.
Volkswagen.
Okay, yeah, no, that's actually what I was thinking. Well, Volkswagens are pretty expensive these days. Anyway, but a Hyundai o okay, un carro muy cheap, whatever.
I use car.
What I'm saying is that diciendo que su auto pertenezca a Dios, your car belongs to God.
Everything belongs to God.
Si aún es una bicicleta, even if it's a bicycle, that's all you have. That belongs to God. I don't own anything. He owns everything. The sooner, lo más pronto que entendemos, the sooner we understand this, the easier my life becomes, the easier my decisions become.
Yes.
La más fácil mis decisiones, porque no es mi propiedad.
And more peaceful too.
Yes, very, very peaceful. Very peaceful to understand this. Saying what? When I encounter, this is why when I am both the rich man and the poor man. I'm the rich man in that I'm running to help the people who are in need. I'm the poor man in that I'm recognizing I have no possessions. That I have absolutely no possessions. And so this is the letter Dalet. You notice that the letter Dalet, here's the Vav. This is the Vav. Everyone say Vav.
Wow.
Nota que la letra Vav es derecho, ¿cómo se dice? Derecho. Derecho. It's standing straight. Okay? This is Dalet is the Vav, but he's bowed over. Dalet is the Vav. What is a Vav? What is the number of Vav? Es el número 6. 6. 6 is the number. ¿Qué es el número? ¿Número de qué? De man, de hombre. Vav representa hombre. Adam represents Adam. Why does it represent Adam? Creado en
Imagen.
the 6th day. So you remember in Apocalypse in Revelation that we're told that the man that the Antichrist, the anti-Mashiach, that he has a number, and his number is what? 666. El número de Anticristo, 666. ¿Qué es? Multiplicaciones de 6. Multiples of 6. Why? Because this is man. Okay? We're going to see that what is next. This is man. Vav. We're jumping ahead. We're getting ahead. Más adelante. Vav is man. Hombre. Next is Zayin. This is Zayin. Zayin. Zayin es un Vav también, pero con, how do you say wings? Con wings. Alas. Que es Mashiach. Este es el Mesías. Vav es hombre, este es Mesías. El número de Vav es
6.
Número de Zayin,
7.
7. 7 es el número perfecto. Pues, diciendo todo eso, a decir que Dalet es Vav, that the Dalet is a Vav, Dalet. ¿Por qué? Why is he Dalet?
Humble.
Because he's humble. Why is he humble? Humilde. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué está humilde? Because he's poor. Because he's poor. The position of the Dalet, of the poor man, is to see others, a ver otros, más mejor, better than they are. That I am to look at others as being better than me. This is humility. That I'm not to think of myself as being, no a pensar a mí mismo como yo tengo todo, que yo soy todo, que yo soy el rey, que yo tengo todas las respuestas, estas cosas. I'm not to be thinking that I have everything, that I have all the answers, I'm better than you. Rather, my position is to be that I am less than you, that you are more important than me. Pero a pensar a mí mismo, de mí mismo, que yo soy menos de ustedes, menos en importancia, que tú eres más mejor que yo. You're better than I am. El apóstol Pablo, Rav Shaul, llamamos Rabbi Shaul, su nombre en hebreo, dice que de todos pecadores, of all the sinners, what did Paul say? Of all the sinners, what? De todos pecadores, yo soy el jefe. I'm the worst one. I'm the chief. Saying what? You see that person over there? Mira la persona allá. Un pecador muy malo. Yo más malo. Más bajo. I'm worse. I'm lower. Mira esta persona aquí. Una pecadora. Yo menos, yo más bajo, yo más malo de esa persona. This is to be the way that we look at people. Not that I'm all this and you notice the difference. Nota la diferencia of the usual way that people think when we see people out in the street or what, a ver la gente en las calles o donde que that I'm better, que yo soy más mejor de ellos, porque yo soy una persona de fe, un cristiano mesiánico, that I'm a messianic or I'm a Christian or what have you, so I'm better than that person over there. No. This is the wrong way to be looking at things. This is the worst way to be looking at things. It changes our perspective. Cambia nuestra perspectiva a notar que ¿qué es que Yeshua dijo? What did Yeshua say? They break to him a woman caught in the very act of adultery. Encontrando una mujer en el hecho de adulterio. And what does he say concerning her? I find no fault in you. I do not judge you. Saying what? That she's okay, that it's okay for her to do this. Diciendo que está bien para ella vivir en esta manera. No. Es un pecado. It's a sin. But saying what? He did not come to judge. He came to save. He came to help. No vino a juzgar, vino a ayudar y salvar. When we're going around judging people, we're not helping. When we're looking at them and we're looking down on them. Cuando miremos bajo a otros, a ellos. No estamos ayudando. It doesn't help. The perspective that we're supposed to have, and we get into this, entramos en árbol de vida, the tree of life, that we're supposed to have is that I'm worse than you. That rather than looking down on you, I should be looking up to you. In Judaism, we're taught that we have respect for every human being. Because every human being has a spark of the divine. Every human being is created in the image of God. Tenemos respeto por cada persona. No por sus hechos, not for their acts, not for what they do, pero por cada persona, porque cada persona tiene, how do you say spark? Chispa del divino. Creado en la imagen de Dios. So just as you and I had the opportunity to hear about God and to come to salvation, so they also have the opportunity. Como nosotros tuvimos la oportunidad a huir de Dios y venir a salvación, también ellos necesitan tener la oportunidad. Porque creado en la imagen de Dios. They're created in the image of God just like you and me. So they will also have the opportunity to hear about God. But if I'm walking around all chiflado, if I'm walking around all arrogant, am I going to take the time to talk to that person? Hablar con esta persona de salvación? No. I'm not going to do it. So what? Then I'm not living. I'm not living godliness. I'm not living. No estoy viviendo en santidad. Jesús.
I'm not looking, we are commanded to look out for the good of the other. We spoke to this a couple of weeks ago, that we are called to look out for the good of the other, not just my own good. For the benefit, the welfare of the other person, not just my own. And so this is part of the chassidut, this is part of the life of Dalet, of the poor man. This is part of my humility. Esta es parte de mi humildad. Como yo mire a una otra persona. How I look at another person. A una mujer allá en la calle, even a woman out there in the street, con drogas, o un borracho, a drunk, an alcoholic, a drug addict, or whatever. Then how I look at them, if I'm judging them. Otra vez, no estoy diciendo que es agradable su manera de vida. I'm not saying that I agree with their way of life, of their lifestyle. But that is a human being. Es un humano. Created in the image of God. Creado en la imagen de Dios. Y por esa razón tengo respeto por esa persona. I'm to have respect for that person. And I'm to look at that person on the same level as me. Or even that person is at a higher level than I am. Can you see what a difference? ¿Qué diferencia esta hace en nuestra actitud a otras personas? What a difference it makes in our attitude to other people. That rather than going in being Superman to save the day, that I'm a sinner in need of salvation, and I'm recognizing this, that this person is better than me. The difference that this kind of thing makes in our life. And so the Dalet is a person living through Chassidut. The Dalet es un hombre, es una persona viviendo Chassidut, que es, ¿cómo se dice? Humildación. Or how do you say it? I don't know. Humility. Humildad. In this way, ¿qué son las cualificaciones de Chassidut? What are the qualifications of Chassidut? Number one is humility. Number two is trust. Confianza, humildad, confianza. 3, obedience. 4, action. Obediencia, acción. One leads to another. You see, you're never going to be here if you're not here. If I'm not a humble person, then I'm never going to come into this area. Si no tengo humildad, no puedo entrar en esta porción. Es imposible para mí obedecer sin humildad. It is impossible for me to obey without humility. This is why so many people struggle. We're in the new year, estamos en el año nuevo. Y everyone makes their New Year's resolutions, right? Resoluciones del año nuevo. A quitar de esta. La dieta. No ganar más peso. Why can't we keep our resolutions? Those who make resolutions.
Because they're trying on their own.
Okay. Porque no está real. Porque, why? Because you can't do this if you don't have this. You want to quit a bad habit? That's the key. You want to start good habits? That's the key. Everything else follows this. Todo eso sigue esto. Esta es la llave que abre estas puertas. ¿Quieres cambiar tus hábitos? Humildad. Humility. So with humility, this is Hasidut with humility, then what? Confianza, I trust him. Abraham took Yitzhak up to the top of the mountain to kill him. Abraham tomó tu hijo al monte a matarlo. Un sacrificio, a sacrifice. A Dios. ¿Cómo? How? How could he do this? How did he have the courage to do this? He went all the way to the point of what? He had the knife out and ready to go, and the angel stopped him. El ángel no permítelo a matar su hijo. How was he going to do this? ¿Cómo puede hacerlo? Trust. ¿Qué confianza? ¿Qué manera de confianza? What was his trust?
That he would provide.
Exactamente. That he would provide. But más que Hebreos dice, the book of Hebrews says that Abraham believed that God would raise Yitzhak from the dead. Que Abraham creyó en la resurrección de por los muertos. Que Dios puede levantar Yitzhak de los muertos. With this trust, confianza absoluta, absolute trust, he was prepared to kill his son for the sake of God. Trust leads to obedience. Obedience leads to action. We have it here. Look, we have it here. Abraham. He follows all of these things, step by step. This is what makes him a great man of God. Un gran hombre de Dios. ¿Por qué? Porque él siguió punto a punto, step by step, these things. So this is Dalet. So, in humility, and there's a difference between humility and humiliation. Una distinción entre humildad y humillación. Because in humility, I have a sense of myself. I know who I am. En humildad, yo, how do I say it? I don't know how to say it. I know who I am.
Second soul.
Okay? I know where I stand. I know my position. Yo sé qué es mi posición. In humillación, in humiliation, those things are taken from me. Okay? I don't know who I am. I don't know where I stand in these kinds of things. So, there's a difference between humility and humiliation. Hay una diferencia entre humillación y humildad. Saying that the poor man, that this is a place of selflessness, no pensando de mí mismo, I'm not thinking about myself. My thoughts are of others. My thoughts are of others. So you remember that we said that Gimel is the essence of Mashiach. This is the essence of the Messiah. Guess what? This is also the essence of the Messiah. He's both the rich man and the poor man at the same time. Does the scripture not say that? He being rich, yet he was poor. So this is the essence of the Mashiach. He's all of this. Now I say that I'm following, that I am a follower of His. If I'm a follower of His, but my lifestyle is not that of His, then am I a follower of His? So if I say, whether I say I'm a Messianic, Mashiachi, or Christian, either way, it comes out the same. Christian, a follower of the Christ, who is Yeshua, Jesus, right? Just using the Greek. Mashiach, Mashiachi, Messianic, being a follower of the Messiah. Christ, Cristo, significa Mesías, es de la lengua griega. Messianic, Mashiach, Mashiachi, significa de Mesías, hebreo. It's the same. Whether I say I'm a Christian or I say I'm Messianic. But I'm not following Him. I'm not living this kind of a lifestyle. I'm not doing these things. Then my life is a lie. Mi vida es una mentira. Dije que yo soy un cristiano, yo soy mesiánico, pero no siguiendo la ley de Hasidut, como Yeshua, como Pablo, como todos los discípulos. What kind of follower am I? It's all a lie. And this is why we need to be careful. Necesitamos tener cuidado en estas cosas. Many people, muchas personas dicen que yo soy cristiano. Yo soy esto, yo soy... Pero no es verdad. Many people say, I'm a Christian, I'm this, I'm that. But it's not true. Why is it not true?
There's no evidence.
They don't follow. Filipenses capítulo 2, Philippians chapter 2, verses 5 through, I don't know what. Through 11. You have exactly this. Have this attitude, tener esta actitud en su misma. También en Mashiach Yeshua, who have this attitude in yourselves, which was also in the Messiah, who existing in the form of God did not consider being equal to God a thing to be grasped. He emptied Himself. Think of Dalet when you're reading this. He emptied Himself, took on the form of a slave, became the likeness of man, found in the appearance of man. He humbled himself, he became obedient to death, even the death on the cross. This is Hasidut. Filipenses capítulo 2, versículo 5 a 8 es Hasidut. Este es nuestro ejemplo. This is our example. This is what we should be following. This is how we should be living ourselves, our lives. So then, we're going to close off with Dalet now. Remember what Dalet means. ¿Qué significa Dalet? Door, puerta. And so the sages tell us that Dalet is the door of truth, la puerta de verdad. What did Yeshua say? What did Jesus say? I am the way, the truth, the life. Yeshua dice que yo soy el camino, la verdad y la vida. Nadie encuentra el Padre sino por mí. Nobody comes to the Father but by me. Say what? He's the door. He's the humble man. This is the Messiah. If I'm going to come to God, I must come to God how? Through the Messiah. A encontrar Dios, necesito encontrar Dios por el Mesías. Es la puerta. He's the door. What does that mean? That means that I go through what he goes through. I go through Hasidut. He's the door, he is Hasidut. Therefore what? I come to the Father through Hasidut. What is Hasidut? Humility, trust, obedience, action. This is the way I come to the Father. He's the door. So, questions, comments? I'm doing too much talking, you need to talk. So let's go to Hey. Hey.
Hey. That's why I remember Hey. I see the,
Miss singing in the aisle of
I see
HBR.
the face, I'm like, hey.
Hey.
The girl parting her hair. Hey.
Was that a person?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a person messing with her hair.
They're like,
Hey.
okay, so let's go to Hey. Everyone say, Hey.
Hey.
Louder.
So this is the name, Hey. This is the pictograph. And the pictograph is a little human, okay? Basically what it is, the idea is that he's looking through a window. He's looking in a window, out a window, okay? And the number is 5. So He is, in English is the letter H. In Spanish is the letter J. Okay. So that's the sound. Everyone say. Okay, with the He, there is no K. Okay, with the Kaf, aquí, the Kaf, I is K or Ch.
Huh? Or
with the het. It's het. But with the he, it's he. No más. Aspiración, ¿ya? La palabra? Just the breath. Okay? It's the sound of just your breath. What is the difference? ¿Qué es la diferencia entre he y je? ¿Por qué? Because they look the same. So you have to be careful. Necesitas tener cuidado porque miran la misma. Estas letras.
Because the hay leaves for breath, a room.
Okay, so there's an opening here. Está abriendo aquí. Okay? Diciendo, what is the opening there? To let your breath out. Here it's closed off. Está cerrado. No. Right? Like you're choking. So here you can breathe. It's open. Está abriendo. Puedes aspirar. Aquí es cerrado. No puedes. ¿Qué es la aspiración? That is the breath. So we have a word for breath. Tenemos una palabra por la aspira. Ruach. Ruach.
Breath? Oh, yeah. Breath of life.
You might recognize it. It means breath. It also means wind. It also means spirit. Mente y espíritu. So, in Hebrew, when you're using the word ruach, in Hebrew, when you're using the word ruach, which one are you saying? Are you saying the breath, or the wind, or the spirit? ¿Qué estás diciendo? En hebreo, cuando dices ruach, estás diciendo, what's he said? How do you say breath?
Respirar. Respiro o aspirar.
Aspirar o vento
Viento.
y espíritu. ¿Cuáles?
Yo digo espíritu.
So which one are you saying?
I say spirit.
It's hay. Not head.
But when I'm using this term here, when I'm saying this term here, ruach, if I'm reading the Hebrew and I say ruach,
I say spirit, but then you're the teacher.
it says breath, it says wind, it says spirit. All three of these are the definition of ruach.
Oh, it's all of them?
Yeah.
Trick question.
Trick question, no. It could be.
It's yes.
Very good.
It's yes.
Finally, they all remember.
I just remembered, it's
The
yes.
answer is yes.
It's all of them.
It's all of it. It's all of
I
it.
remembered that.
I thought you were asking, was it hay, het, or cough in the ruach?
Oh, no. The rock, is it breath, is it wind, or is it spirit?
Oh.
So for example, vamos a ver. Look at Genesis chapter 1 and verse 2.
Genesis 1, 2.
Excuse me, no, it's verse 1.
Genesis 1, 1.
Let me go to my other source so I can read it to you in Hebrew.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth.
Okay, that wasn't good. I just cut off everybody. Let me go to my,
But you cut your camera off?
yeah,
Inexperience.
went to airplane mode. Sorry, everybody, we're back.
Hey.
What happened?
Hey, hey, hey. All right, so. I'm going in my Hebrew Bible, that's why. Still off? Come on. Okay, we're back. I hit the airplane mode, so those who got cut off, take two. All right, so the reason why I was saying verse 2 is because in the Jewish Bible it is verse 2. So verse 2 says, V'cha aretz hayta tohu v'bohu v'chashech al penei techom ve'ruach Elohim. So there you have the word. The Ruach. And of God was hovering over the water. And the Ruach of God was hovering over the water. So, what is God about to do here? What does he do? What does verse 3 say? ¿Qué dice el versículo 3? Primeramente, dice que
God said.
y Dios dice.
Let there be.
Dios dijo. God said. So how do you speak? ¿Cómo hablas? With your breath. It takes air to speak. Necesitas aire a hablar. So you speak, hablas con su
Respiración.
aspiración. Okay. Este es ruach. Aquí. Aspiración. Vento. When you go to the island, when you go to the Gulf, when you go, have you ever been on a cruise? I don't know how to say that in Spanish.
On a cruise?
Yes.
Crucero? Isn't it a cruise? Crucero, no? It's not a
Barcos de
cruise.
los grandes, ¿cómo se dice?
Los barcos grandes, cuando se suben.
Cruceros? Okay, you go out there. I've been on one. My wife and I went to one. I didn't pay for it. We went with our high school.
You went on a cruise?
We went on a cruise from Galveston, and so we went across the Gulf to Mexico, to the Yucatan, and I didn't pay for it. It was the high school paid for it. We went, okay, but the thing was, we were out there, we were up on the top of the ship. And guess what was going on? The wind was blowing out in the middle of the ocean. Hay mucho viento para allá, en medio del mar.
But weren't you afraid to fall?
No?
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't.
No, I had Miss Wilma there. Maybe it's a little too risky.
You have nowhere to run except.
So, the movie Titanic, right, where they're...
Titanic.
Okay, so when it says that the Ruach was hovering over the face of the water, it can also be
The wind.
el viento, the wind. But specifically it's translated as what? What does your Bible say?
Spirit.
The Spirit. The Spirit. They're all three. Which one does it mean? Yes. In Judaism, many times when we're asked a question like this, the answer very simply is
Yes.
yes. Sí.
Yeah, it is.
Tres. It's all three.
Would it also be safe to say whichever one ministers to you?
Yes.
The one that
Well,
ministers to the wind or the spirit or
The term context was put out there, which is true. It has to do with context. But understand that all three are workable.
or
So, context, yes. But understanding that when he's talking about the breath, he's also talking about the wind, he's also talking about the spirit.
yeah.
So, what happens? I breathe my last breath. I breathe my last breath. What happens? It's my spirit has left. So this is the idea of he, that it is breath. So we're going to get into some cool stuff here. Some really nice stuff. Some really nice things with He. Because remember what Dalet was about? Selflessness, right? So what does selflessness do? It gives of itself.
Yeah.
Okay? So selflessness gives of himself, and this is the He. Because what does the He do? So let's go back to Genesis. And remember what's coming up next? What's the next letter after He? Vav. So let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Génesis capítulo 2. And look at verse 7.
The Lord formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed into its nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. How much?
So what does God do?
He breathes.
So what did we say? This is selflessness. This is the giving of oneself. He.
Giving life.
Giving life. He is the giving of life. Okay? The giving of oneself, the giving of life. So, several years ago, when I was working at the school, working at the high school, I had to come over to Valley Baptist and take Red Cross classes.
Take what?
Red Cross classes.
PR?
CPR, yes. And so that's one of the things that we had to do, is we had dummies, right? And we had to learn how to open their mouth. We'd stick the little plastic protector there and breathe, and you could see the lung section rising and such as that. when a person gives mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, that is one of the most selfless acts a person can do. Because what is that person doing? When you're giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, what are you doing? You're giving your breath to that person. You're literally giving your life. You're pushing your life into that person. You're taking your breath and you're pushing it into that person. And back before, not too long ago, they did not have all the mouth protectors and things like that that we have today.
No, you just.
You just put your mouth on that person's mouth and you breathe into it. And the nurse that was teaching the class talked about this, how one of the reasons why they started using the mouth protectors is because a person, when they're coming to, they've been out, you're giving them mouth to mouth, and they come to and they throw up right into your mouth.
Right into your mouth, yeah.
So you're taking the danger of all of that. There's a lot more to saving lives than what they show on TV. Okay? So, you're taking a risk yourself. You don't know what that person has, what contagion, what disease, what sickness, what illness, what have you, what their germs are, and all of these kinds of things, and you're taking that risk in order to provide them life. And so this is why it's considered to be one of the most selfless things that you can do, is to breathe your life into that other person to save their life. And you take the risk, you take the chance. Then you may get sick yourself. You may catch something yourself. That something disgusting may happen to you because you're taking this risk, this chance to give that person life. And yet, many people, most people will do it if they're placed in such a position. Most people will do it. Most people will do it without even thinking, without hesitation. And in fact, we were warned by the nurse that was teaching us to be careful, because you get caught up in the adrenaline and the emotion of the moment. You get caught, and you forget to get you're supposed to carry the protector in your wallet or whatever, in your purse, and you forget, and you just start giving them mouth to mouth. And so that was something that we had to practice, and she had us practice over and over, is to pull it out and put it in the person's mouth. Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Why? Ingrain it so that when you come to the moment of desperation, it's just a natural mechanical thing for you.
Yeah.
So, God breathes into Adam the breath of life. And he becomes a living soul. So this is the gift of God. Life. This is why when we say Kiddush, we lift up our wine cup. What do we say?
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. What? L'chaim, to life. A la vida. Right? Because life is our most precious gift. And life is the most precious thing that you can give to others. Your life. So what does Yeshua say? No greater gift has any man than this, but that a man would lay down his life for his friends. This is the greatest gift. We're going to close here. I want to give you something for next week. Who were we talking about between Gimel and Dalet? Who were we talking about?
Jesus.
No.
Abraham.
Abraham. Everyone say Abraham. Abraham. This was his name first. This is his name, Avram.
Abraham.
Aleph, what is the sound of Aleph?
Silent.
Silent. It takes the vowel.
It's
This is
vowel
the vowel.
marking at the bottom.
Okay, so it is silent, it takes the vowel A. Notice that this is, what letter is this? ¿Qué letra es esa?
Bet.
Bet. Sin dagesh. Without the dagesh, so it's a
V.
V sound. This mark is called a sheva, and it cuts short. Av. So you just go to the next consonant. La letra próxima es resh, R. Resh. This one is, this also is un vocal A, otra vez. This is the vowel, another vowel A, there are two A's, A vowels. And then this is a mem,
Yeah.
actually a mem sofit, a mem, which is M, M. So the way you read Hebrew is A, V, Ra, Avra. Su esposa, su mujer. Shin, sin.
Es.
¿Dónde está esta marca? Determine que es shin, shin o sin. Si es en este lado es shin, en este lado es sin. Sa, S, A, R, A, I. Su mujer, su esposa, Sarai.
Sarai.
In Genesis, God comes to them and He promises them what?
Children.
A son. Dios vino a estos dos con la promesa de un hijo. Problema, problem.
They jump together.
Huh?
They got impatient, they jumped together.
No. The problem is, la problema es, Abraham tiene 100 años
Oh, yeah, and she's,
y
yeah,
ella 90.
she's up in age.
Abraham is 100 years and she is 90. Well past the age of bearing children, plus her womb is closed. Su letra es cerrada. God promises to them life. God promises to them a child, a son. A ellos Dios prometido un hijo, vida. Abrir, to open her womb, and to cause a son to be born. When God makes them this promise, He changes their name. En medio de esta promesa, Dios cambia los nombres de ellos. A él, de Abraham a Abraham. A ella, Sarai a Sara.
Sarai.
¿Cómo? How does he do this? Entre he. He puts a he in the name. Abraham, Abra,
That's cool.
Abraham. ¿Qué significa? What means the he? Abraham.
Breath of life.
He breathes into Abraham the breath of life. This is why he changes their name. Sarai cambia. También. También. Una He. He adds a He to her name, Sarah. He adds a He to Sarah's name, to Sarai. He changes Sarai to Sarah. Also saying what? What does the He say? ¿Qué es? The breath of life. He breathes into her the breath of life. He takes these two old people ready to die and he breathes new life into them. He makes them as though they are young again. And do they? Do they?
Yes.
Yes. And the son's name is Yitzhak. El nombre de su hijo es Yitzhak. Yitzhak means laughter. Why? Because that's what young people do. They laugh. This, we close here. This is what Olam Haba is all about. This is what the world, the age, the Messianic age, the kingdom, the world to come. This is what this is all about. El siglo venido es de esta cosa. To breathe into us a breath of life. To breathe into us new life. So that though you are dead, yet you shall live. And how shall you be in the world to come? What form shall you be? ¿Qué forma? Oh, you'll be physical.
I'll be young again.
You will be young again. That's the point.
And no eyes.
What was your name changed from Sarah to what again?
Sarai to Sarah. Or in English and church you say Sarah.
Sarah.
In Spanish, go.
Sarah. Abraham. Abraham.
But in the Hebrew, they still say it.
Abraham.
So
Yes.
they added, you saw in the Hebrew right there where you spelled it, and you added the hey, there's no A sound anywhere?
Yes, this Avraham.
There's an A, that's an A right here.
Abraham.
But that A, there's that T, the little T thing.
Yes, this is the A, this is an A, but this is also an A. There's two forms of A vowels. In Hebrew.
You didn't have a lesson on the
Oh, you get into the vowels and all that in the advanced, right?
Yes,
The markings
yeah.
and all that, he gets into that.
So in the same way, like when we become a Christian and we take the promise, he breathes life into you then, or is it for a later date?
That is the scripture calls that a down payment. We're given a down payment to the life to come. Okay? Which in Hebrew is called the Geulah, the redemption. So in other words, you say you're saved, are you absolutely, completely saved? 100% saved?
Not till you finish the race.
Well, saying that your body's going to die. So this isn't saved.
Oh, the body.
Oh, yeah.
This is saved. Okay, so this is the down payment. But what? He gives you a new body. Okay? And the new body
Will it be made from the dirt from the earth, or, you know?
John says that we don't know what it will be except for that we know we'll be like him. So what the substance is, I don't know, except for that it is forever. It is a forever body, unlike this body. That's the change, that's the life, that's the ha in there. Okay? But Abraham, father of many people. Is people. Av is father. Sarah is the Hebrew word for princess. So with that we say, Vachot Shalom Vela.
Shalom Aleichem.